Hello friends, fellow beer geeks. I am Wes, your craft beer geek, and welcome back to another craft beer geek beer review. I am so sorry it has been so long since I've been able to do a beer review for you. Just sort of moving into the new house, and I really haven't figured out a good place to do beer reviews inside yet. So that's what's sort of holding me back. I've been buying new beers, been trying new beers, but just haven't really figured out a good spot in the house because I want to pick a spot and just sort of stick with it and work with it. So haven't really figured out a good spot, but I figured I'd come out here in the backyard, in the side yard, I guess you could say, and start doing some beer reviews out here for now, while I can, when the weather permits. It's pretty hot right now. It's in the mid-90s, but we're going to stick with it. It's in the early evening, so let's go ahead and get to the beer before it gets too warm. We have a new beer here from Stone Brewing Company. This is their delicious IPA. It's a citrusy IPA with lemon drop and Eldorado hops. Comes in at 7.7% alcohol by volume, 12-ounce bottle here. Briefly read you the description on the back here. It says, when we developed this pleasantly bitter, deliciously citrusy, hop-driven IPA, we took it as an opportunity to go a step further with the West Coast IPA. Lemon drop and Eldorado hops provide the fruity citrus character and hop zing that sings on the palate. We're proud to present this beer to those who already know us for our IPA prowess and for those who so far have only heard the legends. Welcome, crafted to remove gluten. This beer was fermented from barley, a grain containing gluten, and crafted to reduce gluten. The gluten content of this beer cannot be verified, and this beer may contain gluten. So this is sort of something for people who have a gluten allergy. If you're able to have foods that have the gluten removed from them, then this might be a beer you would like to try for yourself. I don't believe I've had a beer yet that has this process done to it. It's a relatively new process. In the past, we've had to have sort of sorghum beers for people who are susceptible to gluten allergies and whatnot. But yeah, I'm curious about this beer, so I picked up a bottle, and let's go ahead and get it cracked open into the glass and see what it tastes like. Okay, so the first thing I initially noticed about this beer is that when I popped the top, wasn't really much of a hiss at all, very minor. As you see, I poured it out, not really any kind of head forming on this one, just a few little bubbles. But it does have a nice cloudy, hazy orange color to it. I do like the color, looks pretty in the glass. Let's see what the aroma is like on this delicious IPA. Definitely getting a lemony, hoppy kind of aroma, a bit of a, almost like a watermelon rind kind of aroma. A little bit of a bready, kind of a light wheat bread kind of aroma. So it smells pretty invited. I'm ready to go ahead and give this one a try. Cheers if you're drinking along. All right, so right up front, definitely an IPA, definitely hop forward. Again, getting that lemony sort of citrusy flavor. It has a sort of an odd texture to it, almost like it's kind of got like a powdery kind of texture to it. It's kind of odd. Again, there's no carbonation here. I don't know if this is just a sort of a factor of this beer being what it is, or whether there was a problem with this bottle. It has a very little bit of carbonation to it, but again, not a lot. It's also kind of sweet and has that texture to it. So almost gives you the taste of like some sort of lemon, sort of powdery kind of candy. It's kind of weird in that respect. Like a lemony sort of fun dip or something like that. A lemony Smarties kind of candy. It's tart, it's tangy, it's citrusy, it's sweet, it's sugary, but it has that sort of texture to it. It's kind of odd. Okay, so my final thoughts, and to wrap up this review of the Stone Delicious IPA. This is a really tough one because there's aspects of this beer I really like. I like the flavors they're going for. I like the flavors they're getting. I'm not sure. I like the fact that it's lacking carbonation. That's really a tough one for me. I don't know if that's just a factor of the process of removing the gluten or whether there's something wrong with this bottle, but I have to rank it how it is. Yeah, I like the flavors. It has a nice malty flavor, as I said. I like the hop flavor. It's got a good balance to it. It's hop forward, but it's not all hops. You can still taste the malts in there. Really nice malty flavor as well. Nice light toasted wheat bread kind of toastiness to it. I think I'm gonna have to come in at a 6 out of 10 on this one. Just barely a 6 out of 10. I just feel like there's something off about this beer, and I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to try it again, but this one is going to be a 6 out of 10 for me. So that's going to do it for this Craft Beer Geek beer review. Thank you for staying tuned in. Hope you enjoyed this beer review. If you like this review, you can find lots more over at craftbeergeek.com. I've got almost 400 beer reviews now. You can find beers of almost any kind of style or from many breweries around the world. So you can find that all over at craftbeergeek.com. Visit the site and check it out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, a great night. Remember, I don't drink bad beer. You shouldn't either. We'll see you next time. Cheers.